Coach Ray, welcome to my podcast, man. Thank you for coming.
Hey man, pleasure. Always a pleasure.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? You too. I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah.
Man, to me, it's a great pleasure having you as a guest today, especially so near for the next event, East vs West 14. And when you don't really need any introduction at all, everybody knows who are you, buddy. So really, I would really like to make you some of the questions more typical. I know obviously that you have your social media, your YouTube channel, which it's more than obvious that when I started to do arm wrestling, you were mostly my foundations, my source of knowledge, everything. I was there. So
Great success.
before we crack on about questions with training, how is your overall well-being? How you feeling, buddy?
Right now, life is good. It kind of all fits into the place. I feel, life is good. Just how I look at it. Um, Especially last year, just feels good. And summer, it's nice in summer. It's not almost all the time winter here in Latvia. It's sometimes summer. But mentally, I feel really good. It's less work in a summer for training, for other stuff. So more time just to train and to chill, because I think relaxing part is the most important. If you're all the time in that competition mode, or like you don't really relax. So I enjoy moments. We go to the beach and then hang out, to go to movies and whatever, right? So everything is feeling like mentally, physically, I feel really good. Haven't felt this great in long time.
That sounds very good, man. I mean, I understand more or less what is to be on your shoes because you are always busy in terms of sports, coaching other people, being involved with the organization and so on. So now you're having another match, buddy. So if I am not wrong, you've pulled like already 2 or 3 times before against Ryan Bowen. I remember with Owen Rich as well in the East vs West. So you pulled twice in the East vs West, and
Yes,
once in the King of the Table.
three times in King of
Three
Table.
times, yeah. I was thinking the last time we saw you was against Engin, possibly.
No, Robbie in February.
That's right. That's totally right, buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been pretty busy, and now heading towards the East vs West 14. The first question, buddy, easy. Buddy, do you have any kind of, when you're preparing for a match, I know this might be a classical for you, but when you are preparing for a specific opponent, does your training vary a lot for what you normally do on the gym? Do you study your opponent or just do your...
I would say 10% variation. It's 10% variation. So there's specific things, specific strengths you need for everyone. So everyone is good somewhere, right? This is why they're arm wrestling, right? So you have few options, and I like to do all of them, not just focus on one, right? Either you're gonna beat them, how to say, disable whatever they're doing, or you're gonna defend, right? Or you will try to out arm wrestle someone, right? First two options really makes you think, because you can watch the matches of almost any arm wrestler. You can figure out where is their defensive position and where is their offensive position, and you kind of can prepare for both of those. So my 10% of the changes in training right now has been just understanding how Ryan is arm wrestling. What position could I end up if I'm successful and if I'm not successful, and working on those strengths with some of the athletes that are closer to his pulling style, because I think that really matters. Like, the pulling style matters, not only how someone arm wrestles, but also their build, right? If I would prepare for, let's say you're preparing for Vitaly Leletin, I can't pull with Giannis. I need a taller forearm arm wrestler for that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
those kind of things might prepare you, because your whole positioning changes. So I was I figured out how big he is, how strong he is, and then I found some guys that could imitate what Ryan is doing, and we didn't have a lot of time. It's been like just I know about this like 2 weeks ago. But I think we did good work, and tomorrow is my last pulling practice, and it's more about again getting these positions, attacking and defending, and we'll see how it goes. You said like I've been like, dude, I haven't been busy. I just pulled 3 super matches this year. No, 2 super matches. 2 super matches. I had Hristo and I had Robbie. It's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough. My benchmark is 16. That's what I'm aiming for. But no, I don't want to pull that much. But I was very happy when Engin just offered me this match, because I never asked for a match, but I said to him that like if like I'm going in either way, right? So I'm gonna be there. I said if you want me to pull someone, I'll be happy to pull someone. So he gave me Ryan. Ryan is the winner of 95 qualifier, and we'll see. We'll see.
Mm. I mean, I have to say, now that you mentioned the match with Hristo, I did really enjoy that one. He got very good pins on you at the beginning, and you recomposed and you got the win. It was a very good match, man, in Arm Havoc. Very good one, buddy.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's one of my favorite matches ever. That is by far one of my favorite, because how Hristo, he's so unorthodox. Like, but that's I think so. Like, if you pull like everyone, most likely you're not going to be very successful in arm wrestling. You have to do something rare, something special, something that you do, because it will takes you from being normal to being special. That's how I see it. And he's very special in his way of pulling. It's very hard and very interesting. And he like 2 weeks later, he's a European champion, 75 kilos. So
yeah, yeah, man. Just like making a little pause here, forgetting about arm wrestling right now. Just asking my friend very quickly. It's been summer, it's hot. Dude, do you have any holidays planned? I don't know. Are you coming back to any Spanish beach or anything? Any holiday plan?
I would love to. I would love to. I have to figure out like my schedule is sometimes um it's crazy. You know, like how crazy
Yeah.
it is sometimes, right? So I'm trying to like if I'm preparing for a match, all I want is to stay home. And I had a good opportunity since last East versus West to this one, just being at home and training. And I feel like I feel like a different human just 2 weeks of training in, like a second week of training in, because then I'm on my schedule in my gym and doing what I want. But I think closer there's gonna be a little pause between the events, and I think then I'm gonna do some traveling. I don't know if I can make it to Spain. Like I
Wherever.
would love to. That was awesome. Like the last time I was there, it was awesome. But yeah, we'll see. I never know where the roads take me, but they take me everywhere, so I'm happy
Um,
about that.
I mean, absolutely, man. And it's like just wondering, like, as you are super busy, just throw you all these questions, buddy, just to
Yeah, yeah.
wondering, really, honestly. But right. So I think that you are one of the guys, or well, you are probably the guys that drop more information about the trainings, general training information. Even you have workouts through Patreon, through your website, etc. And I would really like to ask you, if you don't mind, this question, which I really like to ask everyone, if you could answer quickly, more or less, how is your workout distribution in a week, if you don't mind, during the week?
Mhm. So for right now, training for this match, I changed a lot of things. One of the biggest thing is I used to train every day, and I think like I mean every day. So my training was however days in the month there is. That's how many days I'm training, and it kind of I felt like I didn't recover, but I was just so used to it that I had nothing else to do. So now I incorporated two rest days every week. So I'm training 5 days a week. My training schedule looks like this. So I have 2 back pressure days and I have 2 side pressure days. One fifth day is just a shoulder workout. I would call it general, just for shoulder health, because I feel like it's the most neglected thing, most important thing. When this is strong you need this strong because then everything else fails. And then one pulling day. So if you see this 6 days. So there's weeks where I will do 2 back pressures, 1 shoulder, one side pressure and 1 pulling. And then there's weeks where it is 1 back pressure, 2 side pressure, shoulders and pulling. So I kind of scale, like I rotate it around. So this week I will have 2 side pressures. And that's how I wanted to finish this preparation. And then next week I'm just doing 1 extra workout with shoulders and I'm finished. So that's how it's looking right now, because I like to cycle around those exercise those days, because I don't want to be, my body doesn't need to know like this day you have to do this. Eventually it hates it. It gets adapted to it. But if you move those days, it's always moving around. It's always moving. The only constant is the pulling day. That's the only constant I have. Sometimes I'll take a day off. Like today, I just went to the gym. It was 40-50 minute workout for shoulders. Usually I train for 2-3 hours, like shoulders, quickly done what I needed. Boom. Tomorrow pulling. Friday, side pressure. Saturday, rest. And Sunday also rest. So.
And those exercise that I saw you doing for merely health and purpose, like those ones for the shoulder stability, status and so on, do you put them, or you implement it in every single training or specific days per week?
I will if I know I have to do like today's shoulder day, I did a lot more internal rotation and things like that, more specific than usually. But I will warm up with either one of those exercises. I'm gonna do those IYTs, right? Or any external rotation or something else. Like I think in arm wrestling, all of our pulling and everything is coming forward. So our shoulders are kind of closing up and we don't have enough movements back. So you need to do at least something to get the volume for the back, for everything going backwards. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. I sometimes will do it in the beginning. Sometimes I'll do it at the end. Sometimes I do it at the end and at the start and mix it up. It's never do the same thing too much, because like body gets used to everything and then it hates it. You can't go outside and start running and like every day increase your time. Eventually your body's like, why do we need to run this fast?
Yeah.
Right. So
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. Right. Just one more question. If you're happy about general training, and then we go back to the East vs West 14, if you're happy, buddy.
yeah.
So if you could just say picture 4, 5, 6 exercises in the gym for strength that you will do yes or yes, no matter what, that those exercises will transfer to the strength on the table, which ones you think they are?
Okay. So what would be the things that I do in the gym that would transfer to the table, right?
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it is all technique based. Everyone's different. Like real quick, like Giannis loves to do pull-ups. Giannis can do pull-ups with so much weight, it's ridiculous. I do like 1 pull-up exercise a week, and sometimes I haven't done it for months. And in some and if we go down to some specific things, I'm just as strong on all the pulling moments, right? But Giannis' technique requires him to be strong there. My technique doesn't require me to be strong there. So this is why there's a lot of there's a lot of exercise that we think like everyone's like pull-ups are great. I believe them. They are great. But like I have done them with big weights, with a lot of volume, and it hasn't changed my power in arm wrestling by nothing. It hasn't changed nothing. So I don't do it for myself, but everyone's different. So pull-ups, some kind of pull-ups variation would be something you could do. Any exercises that is a cable on table where you can get the back pressure working, you can figure out all the movements and things like that there. Side pressure with a cable, again, I like it because you can really put your arm there. Almost everything that you put your table and cable together. There's general training, there's specific training, and there's style specific training. General training would be like right now I'm not doing any forearm curls where my wrist is like this, like, like these
Yeah.
kind of curls, right? Or something. I will do everything like this because I'm going to that super specific for my technique. And then you can go specific, some other variations of wrist curls, and then you can go general. So it's hard for me to answer this and say, like,
Yeah.
it really depends on what you're doing, where you are, and what you're preparing. If I would be like, I know I have a match in 3 months, right? In 3 months, okay, I need to start with the general, like, risk curls, and then you move over, to super specific to your style, and you kind of push your body into that. That's how I would do it. But everyone's different. There's a lot of exercises that will transfer, and there's no transfer. Like, I like to do my bench press, and I think even Paul Lynn commented on the last video that I did. I posted like close grip bench press, and I was happy because my shoulder was pretty bad, and now this felt awesome. And he said, like, yeah, but you need some chest engagement. So Kristaps Blumans, Kristaps, right? Our junior. Kristaps could literally bench maybe 70, 90 kilos, right? I could bench 2.5 times more than he does. He is just as strong, if not stronger, with this pec engagement than I am. I can beat him everywhere else. I cannot beat him there. So this, where it is helping you and where it is something that you just do, are two different things. I do it because it makes me feel strong. It gives me, like, I know physically I feel strong and healthy, right? It gives you that confidence. How much does it transfers? I don't think the transfer is that big, because I have experimented with a lot of people and things like that, and a lot of people can't push their chest, and we have tried many different variations. The best one is you get on table and you kind of get in those positions and you work. That's how you activate your chest.
Yeah.
That's how.
Yeah. Fair enough, buddy. Fair enough.
I know I expanded, but for me, it's not a simple answer. It's not a simple
No,
answer. If I
I
would answer simply, I would lie. That's how I feel.
no, I understand. And for example, for chess, there are so many variations. Even for example, the Pascal Girards, it's like
Yeah.
stones and how you activate it. And even for example, as you mentioned about the video, you mentioned that you were moving the neck. Many people does it. It's just like quite natural. Even sometimes if I try to stick my neck on the bench, I hurt myself. So for me, lifting up just for this, because we are not doing powerlifting.
Yeah.
Fine,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, buddy. I will need more podcasts to get myself more in the habit of talking to famous guys like you, buddy. Because I tell you this, I mean, we're all human beings. We are all normal, but I have to tell you that it is true that when you, for example, if I meet you one by one, face to face, it's totally fine. But for example, as happened to me last time when it was in April that we were all together, I was surrounded by all of you guys, and I really felt like a little bit small. You all guys have a little bit of that halo around you, and you really, yeah, honestly, yeah, sound like a little bit.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
drunk again. I told you not to do podcasts while you're drunk. Come on.
No, I'm not drunk, man. I don't drink alcohol. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. But yeah, no, I tell you, it's what it is. But it's part of the life, anyway. So heading towards the East West 14, buddy, 10 days out or so. That's a very nice car, very nice car. And aside from you with Ryan, of course, what are the matches that are calling your attention more?
Um, like, I think, like, I'm friends with a lot of these people, a lot of the arm wrestlers. Giannis is the number one. Well, if we both can get the W, it's a good day for us. Um, Somehow I'm pulling Ryan, which is also in the same club with Hunter. So I feel me and Doug are in the same boat. So also rooting for Doug there. Paul Lynn, like, I like Rustam, but Paul Lynn's my guy. Um, he's Captain America, man. Come on, like, I'm rooting
Yeah.
for him, and I'm rooting for John very heavily. I hope John wins. I really do. Nothing against Leonidas. I would root against for John against everyone. Like, it's
Hmm.
hard to say, but there's so many matches that are really good and like hard to predict, and I think Jerry and Alex will give us something very special there. If Jerry shows up in a good shape and home field advantage should be awesome. Michael Todd and Camille. I want to see if this Michael is something special and something different, and and also want to see how strong Camille is, and it will give us some answers to some of the questions. But overall, the event, like I forgot, like 10 matches, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. 16 matches. It's a long day and almost sold out crowd in North America. First time in a long time. It's freaking awesome.
I think it's going to be something different, man. I really feel sore that I am not able to assist to this event because I would really like to see it, but I think it's going to be something different. Like I bet it's going to be like fully packed, that place. I have friends going there, like Skyler, Henry, and someone else's, and the number, man, I think they're going to be great. But just talking a little bit about the matches, yeah. I mean, for example, Camille and Michael, I'm curious as well. Tom Holland, I'm
Tom,
curious about, of course, I'm curious about him. And remember that I asked you about
yeah, yeah.
that Ramen as well, because just I wanted to keep it to see in mind. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Tom. It's too
I
early.
think Tom is awesome. Tom is really he's very interesting puller. I think it's a hard match for him stylistically.
Yeah.
But if he really shows up and he has a good game plan, because sometimes he just comes to pull and he pulls everyone kind of same way. But if he has a good game plan on that one, he might surprise a lot of people. I think he's very underrated. He's awesome for super matches. Pulls his heart out. What probably my best and favorite super match was against him. A true warrior. Like and Craig is so hard to stop. Craig is also
Yeah.
one of those special North American pullers that could easily fight with almost everyone in that weight class. But it's a good match, and I hope Tom will be able to catch that bullet and make it in a bleeder, because then I believe that if the match kind of stops and goes longer, then it's Tom Holland. Then I feel that it's Tom Holland. Yeah.
Mm. And obviously, my matey, Fran Lamparelli. I really crave for him. We'll see what happens. And well, yeah,
That's a tough match. That's a tough
that's a
match.
very tough match. Yeah, Dave and Frank, Super Frank. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be oof, 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 oof. If I were,
Yeah.
I will leave my boys there screaming, just supporting, dude. And yeah, the polling one, yeah, I'm with you. I'm supporting. I mean, I like
Of
Rustam
course.
as well, but it's like Pauline, dude, is amazing. Very
Yeah.
good experience, that one. Training with you guys in the gym, for which I really appreciated that shot with you guys. That was awesome. Absolutely.
I think there's a lot of people that like in arm wrestling, it's very hard to. There's not a lot of people you can hate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? You might not like someone like a lot of people they don't like Travis, right? Because Travis is Travis.
Yeah.
But I think he's awesome, in my personal opinion, and I think he's exactly the person we need to
Yeah.
make this sport big, right? But it's hard to bet again to not root for like Poland, right? And and John Berzangs
Yeah.
and some of those guys on the sport, and everyone right now is rooting for Artem Taranenko for him to beat Mindaugas, because everyone
Mhm.
hates Mindaugas. It's like he's the GOAT. What else can he achieve?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the guy's playing the game like on super hard mode and just beating everyone easily. If you just don't look at his last match, but you know,
And also suppose, because sometimes we need to make a difference between the character or the guy who's in front of the camera and the real person, because some
yeah.
people obviously
Oh
switch.
no, Minda is exactly like that.
No, Mindas, yes. Mindas,
Yeah,
yes. But I'm talking, for
It's
example,
not playing nothing.
but for example, I got, for example, no, I wasn't talking about Mindas. I was in general, for example, like Travis, or for example, Devon is very criticized for, but it's like, yeah, this guy on the table, the guy that goes on the table in front of the camera and then outside, it's like sometimes you cannot judge. It's like when you're going on competition, right? When sometimes people will say about even about myself that on competitions I'm very shy, I'm very rude. It's like, it's just I'm in competition mode. I don't want to talk to anybody when you are in front of the camera. So it's like that difference between the character and the guy. But anyway, we understood each other more or less. So just my friend, easy one, because the time is already out, buddy, and I want to respect your time. Well, do you have any opponent in your mind after your match with Ryan?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have I okay. I have to talk about it. So Ryan Bowen, he's doing his weight cut, and eventually he wants to do a rematch. And he's crazy, as he's like he wants to come down to 85 and meet me. I'll do it. I would meet him at 90, but I wanted to pull at 85, but I took this challenge because if I win, if I win, then I can say what I want next, and it's, in my opinion, pretty big match, and I think it's very interesting match for everyone. So, but right now I just can't say it. I don't want to jinx it. I'm focusing just on this one, but eventually, doesn't matter about that match how it goes. Me and Ryan should happen. If Ryan is doing like he's cutting down weight, he's like
Yeah,
90 something now. He wants to be so he would be smaller than when we pulled first time.
yeah.
Like he may be more muscly, right? Which is good. And I really think he's a bigger guy. He should fit 95. He wants that and he believes he can prepare better and we can have a better match. I'm all for that. Because for me, like I was really I trained my ass off. I knew exactly what he's gonna do and I pulled and I was really strong. And for me also, I want to have I'm gonna give him that. If he wants to pull me one more time, let's pull him one more time. I'll do it. But I don't think he can beat me at 85. That's my personal opinion, but I would definitely do it. But I have plans, and it's I think it's time for me to try to get some matches going for myself, not just kind of cruise here and someone will offer me a match and then I'll pull it, right. But I set myself goals. I like that 85 kilo class.
Mm-hmm.
uh, would be I could do 77 for sure, but I feel more comfortable here, and plus the food is so great. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Hermes was feeding you very well in Italy, I bet.
Oh, like yes, he was. Yes, he was. I was thinking like, yes, like why didn't we went to all you can eat sushi like 3 times. I was like, why didn't we film it? Like just us eating and
Yeah.
see how much we could. I was like, we could have done like people would watch it and would be interested in it, right? But yeah, it's a
That's
good
a
one.
good that's a good one, man. If I ever go to see you there or something, we can definitely do a IT competition, buddy, because I tell you, you will not beat me on that, on eating food. I guarantee you. But anyway, buddy, I think we can call it a day, man. I don't
Yeah,
want
if
to take.
if you have any questions, you can ask. I'll stick a little longer, but if we're done, no
Oh
problem.
yeah, no, that's totally fine. Mm, 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 not really, yeah, because it's more about training and so on, and so we can call it like that, really. I think like
You
this
you
because
you can ask me. It's not a problem.
oh,
Thank you.
excellent then. So it's a very basic question, but it's very interesting as well because every time more and more people is coming on the sports, social medias and so on, and Reddit, and every time we see this question repeated more and more is how many times per week, or better say per month, of table session would you recommend
Hmm.
for, let's just say, let's separate this, all right, from someone
Mhm.
who's a beginner or a novice and someone who's more advanced.
Mm. So, if you're just beginning, right, and I think it's very hard to get on a you get on a training schedule. Let's say you have zero experience in a gym, right? Let's say you come to my gym and train. Like all my guys, they come and I say like you're gonna be dead for 3 weeks until your arms just get used to training, let alone pulling. And then we're gonna spend more time on pulling than training because you don't know how to pull. It's a skill that you need to learn. problem is if there's no one to guide you, you always go too hard because beginners or most like when we pull, I want to win. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
lose, I wanna win, right? So for them, it's very hard to understand. Like when you're giving them, like they like I'm like just let's practice, like just going backwards, just practice this, and they're trying to beat you every single time, right? And then like I can let go of my arm, but someone will not. So they will stop and they get in position, then they start pulling. So for beginners, like if you can put your ego a little bit aside and just like, okay, I want to pull. I want to get as much pulling possible. Because every time you're gonna pull, something will be like a click, click, like, oh, this, right? And then the whole training makes sense. And then you kind of feel what you're doing. Before then, you just do, and some guys still like they can do and like pronator, they work, and then they get on table and they don't know how to put it all together. So if you're just starting arm wrestling, you don't have to go to gym and start doing specific exercise. You can do one pulling session a week because you will recover to the next week, and then you can do it again and again and again. But if you go, you do your pulling, and in between or after you're doing your, let's say, specific arm wrestling training, you will not recover and your arm's going to hurt. And
Yeah.
it's all going to take a longer time because you're not moving forward, you're going backwards, right? Maybe eventually you will kind of get stronger, but it will take longer time. So I try not to destroy my guys or kill my guys. I'm trying to slowly bring them up. I'm very interested in how much the arms hurt. Like if the arms hurt, come here today, like let's do something else. Let's just focus on this. Leave your arms alone. Give it 2-3 days of rest. Then you can come back and train. The guys forgetting that specific training is, if you specific it down enough, it's exactly like pulling. This is why like I have a lot of guys that are beginners and novice arm wrestlers and amateurs. I can do my full workout and then I go pull with them, and it's hard because I'm all my muscles that I would do usually in arm wrestling or work in arm wrestling are tired. So if you keep doing both of those things, you're holding yourself back. At the
Yeah.
start, if that, like someone will say, "Oh, I can't get on, come to training," just come to pulling practices. Let's start there, and then you feel like your arms kind of get adjusted, you can put on training, right? It's very hard to navigate this because arm wrestling is so specific.
Yeah.
And then there's people that recover great, and they have great movements already, so you can put them on training schedule and everything, and they will skyrocket and reach different levels very fast. Everyone is different, but for like think about this, like whatever you do doesn't matter in a life, right? You didn't know how to do it at the start, but you spend a lot of time doing it. So think about this. Do you want to spend a lot of time doing separate motions, or better do the thing that you really want to learn to do, which is arm wrestling? But then you still need to gain that strength. So for me, it starts with a lot of arm wrestling, and when you reach certain levels, like John or whatever, they could pull once a month if they want to. Like if they, like, right? I feel like my conditioning goes away if I don't pull a lot, but I could pull every 2 weeks or something. It's not a problem. I would be maybe even better every 2 weeks. I just enjoy it. I really enjoy arm wrestling. This is why I wouldn't do it if I wouldn't. So at the start, a lot of arm wrestling on table, and then at the end, like a lot of guys, they will just train with weights, and then they go practice once a month or something, and they're fine, or they just go to competition because you know how to arm wrestle. But I think there's combination at the end with both those things works the best. Like for us, it's once a week, it's a practice, and then you train at least three days in a week.
Thank you for the answer. That's very rich. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Need to I need to ask you this now because it did remind me something about the matches. I mean, you told me obviously that you would like to pull Ryan Bowen, offering him the chance, and that you have your personal goals. But from your previous competitions, matches that you have lost against some opponents, do you have in mind the typical like, oh my gosh, I would really like to have my rematch against this or such and such puller?
No,
No?
no, it was their day. It wasn't my day. They
Okay.
deserved that win. If eventually the paths cross or something, like a lot of people like, oh, you should pull Doug again, or even Doug's like, if you want to pull me, we can pull again. I was like, I'm good, like I'm fine. Like I do believe I needed to lose that one. Like I needed to lose for many reasons. So I think you just move forward. I'm not like Wayne, and you don't have to chase something all
Yeah.
the time. You don't have to prove like I don't have to prove shit to anyone. Like I'll do what I want to do, what I try to do. And if you fail, fail. It's fine, right? Eventually, if you want to do a rematch with someone or someone, like everyone wants a rematch with me who lost to me, which is understandable, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, I could, but I don't know if I should, or like what's the reason? What's the gain? Like even the comments with Ryan, I get the comments like I lost the match. Like people in their mind, like I lost the match because there was like Ryan was smaller. I'm like, no shit. I'm like, come on. Like, you know, but I don't know. Like I would pull some guys that I pulled before. Like I know they're tough matches and I could do better or worse, or they can prepare better. But it's very weird. It's very weird because
Mm.
if I look at a lot of these guys, they lost to me, and then suddenly they feel like they grown, but I stay the same. But it's still keep winning. I'm like,
Yeah.
sure. Good luck to you guys. I don't
Now,
know.
a very curious, very good question, right? Like, standing from my shoes or the spectator shoes, like, okay, who's Coach Ray? We see his YouTube channel, Instagram. We see you in every event, and there's a very nice question that comes up. It's like, how a guy like you, a wrestler, then you became a content creator, famous. How did you end up collaborating in such nice organization as this West? How everything started and how it happened? Tell me, if you don't mind, a little bit the story of how did you end up, well, assisting in or working for the East West, if I may say.
Mm. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, tell me a little bit about it. I'm very curious. Right?
I think one of my skills in life is I can do a lot of things, not perfectly, but really good, like a lot of things. So 2011, I started going for my bachelor degree in sports science, and I started training my guys as an arm wrestler. And I was just, in my opinion, I was a amateur level arm wrestler. I was national champion a few times, but like I didn't know much. Then I have to train my guys. They gave me like a group to work with, and like Giannis put me in that position. Somehow my path with Giannis crossed, and I don't know what he saw in me, and so he gave me an olive branch, and I took it, and he took me to first competition outside Latvia, which was in Sweden. So like some things happened, and at the same time they gave me guys to train, and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna focus fully on training those guys. So I really learned everything I could about arm wrestling, about teaching, and so we worked hard with those guys. And the first guys was Kaspar's Vlad from the most, and some other guys that are more local level, but they're still pulling. So I kind of did that. A year later, they offered me a vice president in federation, and 2 years later, I became president of federation that I still am. So since 2013, I have been going to almost every world and European champion. Last year was the only year where I skipped it. Uh, but I've been going to all of those. So I knew Engin long time ago. Like we met, like and I've been involved in as a coach and whatever in highest level of arm wrestling for forever. 2015 to 19, we've been to almost every Zloty, I think. Right. So I've been doing that all the time. And then 2018, if I'm correct, 2018 was just like I started like 2013. I thought a lot of the guys are like there's not a like when Europeans they put on live stream, but the videos you can't find nothing because it's 6 hours of live stream. So I started cutting those videos down and posting on Global Arm Wrestling. So I used to do that and not doing it anymore, but to help people to see like this is your class, my class, or friend's class, whatever, right? So I started doing that and always involved in videos. I filmed all the events in Latvia, posted those videos so just so people can see the matches and they can share the matches and just for the people to do. And then I thought like I saw a lot of online bullshit exercises, bullshit explanations, things that really like make zero sense. And I thought like I could do better. Like I really thought I could do better. Like
Yeah.
everyone's a little bit. I knew like my first like I know always knew I don't know perfect, and my mind changes because you're human, right?
Yeah.
So I just kind of started doing that, and then few months in, I said maybe Jans, you want to join me on the channel and we can do it together, and just work on those things, and then we started, and then we got like you get more opportunities. 2018, I think, or 2019, I don't remember. Moldova Grand Prix, they invited us to commentate. We barely speak any English, right?
Yeah.
So that was cool. Like that was the first time something, and then the next thing and next thing and next thing, and then the COVID happened, and I think in COVID we did a lot of podcasts with Neil and Ryan and Paul and the Fix. We started like the whole thing is, and it
Yeah.
kind of like all those things you do. Like I do it because I like the sport, because I really enjoy the sport, and I really want to make it a better place since it was before I came in. And I believe I have done a lot of that.
Yes.
Every competition I go, I'll meet people that will say like I watch your videos. Your videos have given me so much for arm wrestling. It's very weird. I no one, maybe some people like compliments. I'm not really about that. It's not like I'm not doing that. I never was pushed for something. It's not to make money. It's to live good enough that I could keep doing this, right? And then 2021, 2021, I think I went to Dubai to work with Larry for first King of a Table. And then, so I was involved in first King of a Table. And then we did a match with Mazi here, which turned out to be one of the best matches on King of a Table, at least one of the biggest turnarounds, right? And a week later, I went to Turkey and we did first East versus West one. And I was there just because I was traveling home, and I thought like, why wouldn't I spend a week in Istanbul and then maybe I'll just go and meet up with Engin and everything. So I went for that. Well, it happened out of nowhere, and somehow it all just kind of
Yeah.
kept on going, kept on going, kept on. My goal was never to like to do a commentator. I was never to do interviews. There was none of those things were any of my goals. My goals were to be world champion trainer, to train world champions. That's I did. I'm good. I achieved it a few times, junior level under 23, Vlad world champion in seniors. Good. So I don't know. I will try right now. I'm trying to figure out what's next, but I believe my role right now is a little bit different. It's more, it's not just educator, it's more of analyst to express what's going on table and some intricacies. Because I can, like, I will go on forums and sometimes I'll read and people will like, they write down the craziest things. Everyone sees everything differently, right? And I understand when an arm wrestler trying to explain to you something, but I know a lot of arm wrestlers still they will try to explain something without knowledge behind the movements and biomechanics and things like that. But there's like average people that think they so I have to put a little bit of perspective. I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm not trying to make fights with
Yeah.
anyone. I'm not always right, right? I don't know, like, dude, this is all just I'm just doing this because I like it. It's hard to explain. It's been a crazy. If I look back and you made me think about it, it's been a very crazy journey, right? I've done seminars and things like that, and someone even commented like 2 days ago, like, why do they call you Coach Ray? And I was like, because I'm a coach.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I was like, because I'm a coach, right? Like, And then as soon as someone beats me, they're like, you're like, oh, now you are. Engin made a joke like student rate, right?
Yeah.
It's yeah, yeah, yeah. you know, when I started making those videos, that name stuck with me, and it was like, okay, if I move over and to do something else, Coach Ray is kind of like, it gives you, I don't know, there's more, it kind of big title, right? To
Yeah,
fight, right?
status. Exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, I know. And I was like, but I'm at this point, I'm used to it because I will meet all the big name arm wrestlers and they will call me coach. Right. And I'm like, okay, like Todd will hit me up and he's like, coach, what you doing? Right. Something like that. So I'm kind of used to it and it's okay. But at the start, I thought like, this is stupid because I don't want a stupid nickname or something, but it's kind of I'm used to it. It is what it is, and I think it's great. It fits me. It's what I wanted my life to be, and in some way it is. So
I mean, some limits are cool, you know. I mean, no limits, easy money, the Jedi. I mean, some of
yeah,
them are cool though.
yeah. And then fucking Neil Pickup calls me Rolly Ray. I love you, Neil. I love you, Neil. No, that's a I also like Rolly. I think yeah, because I roll over people. I was trying to give myself a nickname like a nightmare or something, but look at my face. There's no nightmares.
That
Crazy.
was
I'm excited to see where arm wrestling will go in next 3 years. I think it's going to be something very, very big.
right.
I feel happy and privileged to be working with East versus West and King of the Table. I'm doing different kind of things on both of them, and at the same time, same things. So I'm very happy, and I think we have a good foundation to bring sport where we want to be. Because like I thought that we need Olympics, and I thought that that would be cool if
Yes.
arm wrestling would be in the Olympics. But listen, with all the things that's going around right now, I don't want to be part of that. We'll go crazy town. We're making Olympics, not Olympics anymore, right? We're making,
Yeah, yeah,
you
they're
know
gonna.
what I mean, right?
They're,
You
oh,
know.
yeah, we are, but we cannot say it because we are gonna get cancelled. But yeah, yeah, I wasn't expecting nothing of what we saw. But anyway,
I,
yeah.
I was. Everything is. It's very. I think it's fitting, right? You go woke, you go broke.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, 100%. But
No, it's like
wasn't
I
wasn't I believe Medic Pradins, he was going to get a stand possibly in the Olympics. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
yeah. But en fin, corramos un tupido velo. I would say in Spain, like let's.
yeah. But it's still like I think if we can get to Olympics, arm wrestling would be on a,
No,
you know,
yeah, hundred
and it
percent.
would be good. And so sometimes you need to take like politics will be always involved, and people do
Yes.
what they want to do. But if we keep sports sane, everything's gonna be fine. If we keep sports sane, it's fine.
No, no, man, absolutely. There is a little bit of noise in the internet. Of course, they're bringing the name of Dana White. Why Dana White is not buying on wrestling? Is he gonna do it? Some other guys like Kale Sonnen, I think, like he was a big
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like rumors in the internet, like we're gonna wait, we're gonna see. But definitely, I think from this point, there's no way back in terms of the fame of arm wrestling. I think that arm wrestling is gonna keep going.
I
Some way
agree.
it's gonna keep growing up. And all the amazing job that you guys are doing, because I mean, as you were very well said, you've been there forever, and now you're there as well, coach, commentator, presentador. I forgot the name, the word in English anyway. Presentador, you know, a commentator, analista, all of that. I mean, the attention, the numbers into the sport because of the Levant, the Devon match, and prior to that, it's like everything is absolutely crazy. So it's like now we are on the wave, the crest of the wave, I think, and we're gonna. I mean, we cannot do a real crazy Nostradamus here because we don't have a magic ball, but definitely things are going up. And now, just a little thing because I haven't noticed. I have to ask you this. The same. We had the same more or less hype with Larry Wheels when he jumped into the sport.
Mhm.
Now the same with I was going to
Leonidas,
Brian Cranston, but it's not Brian Cranston. That's the guy of Breaking Bad. It's Brian
Brian
Shaw.
Shaw,
Yeah,
Brian Shaw.
exactly. So there's a
Yeah,
lot of hype around this
you're
gentleman.
watching too much Breaking Bad.
Absolutely, man. Say my name.
Yeah.
Second day.
I watched it 2 days ago, finished it for third time.
For third time. Very well done, man. And now
Uh,
now you watch The Sopranos, and we're gonna be equal, dude. Like because I
I'm
watched
watching
Breaking.
Sopranos now.
Well
My
done,
man, my
well
man.
done, buddy. Well done.
Listen, Brian Shawn. So,
Yes, Brian Shaw.
yeah, it's everyone kind of likes to get on these hype trains, and like you make a video about it, so it's gonna blow up because a lot of people know Brian, a lot of people know
Yes.
Levin, so they're like, okay, right. But it would be like throw you can throw any of those strong men versus UFC champion fighters, and they're gonna get knocked out most likely.
Yeah.
Not most likely, they're gonna get knocked out. And the same is in arm wrestling. It takes an arm wrestler. When Brian Shaw becomes an arm wrestler, right? And it will take a time. It will
Yes.
definitely take time. I think the biggest problem for him would be he's very, very strong. He's very, very strong. And strength is a curse because you will neglect a lot of things. You will win matches because you're stronger until you encounter something you can't overcome by strength, right? And we see this a lot of time in arm wrestling. Sometimes you don't win because you're stronger. It's because you take away that strength from someone else. You put them in position where they cannot be strong, and it all comes from experience. With Larry, he was like Larry was that problem with Larry. He he was put in a highest level. He was put in the highest level possible, exposed to the highest level from the start. He went to and did some tournaments. Like we were in Arizona, he won the class like easily. He was in Mexico, he won the class easily. So on a local levels, like he's way beyond everyone else, right? But then it's very hard to find you like a good opponent on your level. And plus with Larry is like he sometimes diets and he does this and this and he's going up and down, and it's he's used to this type of training. He still wants to do that kind of training and things like that. So I think it's very hard for him, or it was very hard for him to
Yeah.
do that. I think he was like most people in arm wrestling will never beat him. They won't beat him.
And
He's too strong. I think they think like they look at and they're like, oh, Larry Wheel's weak. Okay, same people will say that Devon Larratt is weak because he lost 11. Devon's weak. I'm like, yeah, he can beat everyone except that guy. Are you guys crazy? Right? Ermes lost to Devon. He's weak. So, and you
yes.
go back on that level, you can't beat anyone at this point. Brian Shaw, I think potential is there. There's always potential in big guys, but he needs to like I really don't like supermatch era for beginners because everyone wants that fame. Let's say, and Brian Shaw is already famous. So if you go to a tournament and you beat Brian Shaw, that will get some eyes on you. You'll get those views. You'll make maybe $1 from the views or something, right? But you will get that whatever it is for beating that guy, which is understandable. So I think whoever is doing something with him, they will avoid and do super matches. But with super matches, it's way harder for you to understand what level you are, and it's way harder to progress. If I go to a tournament, I pulled tournaments last Saturday. I entered because there was 11 guys in my class. It's awesome. That means if I win, I get to pull 5 matches or 4 matches. If I lose, I get to pull 7 or 8 matches. And with Wright, that's what I wanted to do. I lost the first one, and then I went to the bottom and cleaned it up until the final. Because then you can pull more, and every guy is different, and it gives you
Yeah.
this understanding. You need to take those wins and losses. But if you lose to the same guy, most likely it's going to be the same scenario, same scenario, same scenario.
Yeah.
This is why uh, I always say to beginners, you want to reach a high level faster, go and pull as many classes as you can, if you can. And then when you get strong enough, of course, then you can focus on being the best in your class. And I have seen a lot of times guys really good at this. Like my juniors, like Vlad and Kaspar, they used to pull 3 classes every competition plus overall, so 4 classes when they were like 16, 17 years, because they could put and every time we trying to, if it went really well, we increased the level. They went to different level, harder and harder. So and at the end, like they've at the 18, they were at the highest level they can be in this country. So more you expose someone to that, more you get actual pulls, not practice pulls. Practice pulls, you know why practice pool doesn't matter? Because there's nothing at stake. Maybe it is for one guy, but not for both. If it's competition, there's something at stake. I want to beat you. But if we're pulling, maybe I'm really want to beat you and I really don't care, right? So this is why practice pools can give you something, but not a lot of things. I take almost nothing from practice pools. I can take how I feel if like I do something to you and you could do something to me before, and I see you're trying to do something, I can take something from that. But if like if you just watch two guys pulling in a practice, you're like, I don't know, right?
Three comments very quickly. First of all, about Kaspar. I know that this is already ancient history, and Kaspar Gravich has been having a lot of super matches after all. But the first, I think it was probably the first very super match I ever watched in my life was on that Arnold Classic in 2021. I think it was whenever it started, and you guys came to England.
People
Yamcha
Tom Holland,
organized it, yeah, and he pulled Tom, I believe.
yeah, Tom
He pulled
on,
Tom.
on 3 day notice,
And I remember that that there was like a cancellation because Tom was supposed to pull someone else, and Kaspar already trained that week, so he was tired and so on. And yet he did a very good show, so he pulled very well though. So Kaspar, my friend, if you're watching this, dude, I know you have improved since then, but Maddie, I remember that you were obviously a little bit unhappy back then, but it's like, wow, if I was on that level, I wouldn't feel unhappy. I mean, yeah, you pull on the table, you lose. Not nobody likes losing, but anyway, like man, you've been
Casper's
trained.
Casper's did it like a movie. It was like in a movie because we had to start, and so I told him on Wednesday, and that was Saturday. And he arrived on Saturday evening because we couldn't get tickets faster. So he arrived, and when he arrived, we had 10 minutes left till the match. So he came in, we put the thing under his arm, and while we're walking, he's warming up, and he goes straight to the stage and pins him on the first one.
No, no,
And then it was brutal match, and Tom Holland won, but it was like a movie. It was like a movie.
no, but that was a very the general impression because back on that day, I didn't even know who was Neil Pickup, buddy. But that was just because, yeah, it was like my very first time almost in everything, right? But anyway, fast forward about Larry Wills. I mean, yeah, I do remember him saying that he was like the Yamcha of the arm wrestling because he was always losing. It's like, come on, buddy. It's not that you are always losing. It's like, as you very well pointed, you were just in a very high level, buddy. Absolutely high level. And about not Brian Cranston, Brian Shaw, excuse me. I need to stop watching those bloody videos about Brian Shaw. 100% that he will need time. And well, we will see, buddy. We will see. I don't like to jump on the wave of the hype neither.
Yeah, I don't get.
We'll
I don't
see.
want to get on a hype or hate, right? So I'll be
Yeah,
okay. Keep working.
and we'll
Let's
see.
point, right. I imagine he's very strong, right? But to get on a super heavyweight level, like you need a lot of pulling.
Yes,
There's a lot of big guys in arm wrestling. If you don't think so, you're like there's a lot of big guys, but you need to be an arm wrestler. You need to be an arm wrestler, right? You need to know all those things, or at least be really good at one thing, right? Dave Chaffee, great example. Problem, curse of strength. He's too strong. Does one thing, does it very well. Worked with a lot of people for ages. Now everyone kind of get better, and he has some problems. It's hard to pick up. It's hard to hold on to that.
absolutely. So just to call it a day, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's moving forward. And well, guys, if anybody is watching this and doesn't know that in a few days, well, in 10 days or so, it's the East West 14 in Orlando, Florida, the 10th of August. Guys, go into, well, I will leave the link, but you know, the website, Core Sports, buy the PPV, support the sport. This gentleman here is going to have a very nice super match against Ryan Belanger. if I pronounce the surname correctly, Belanger. And
East versus West 14.
yeah, it was 14, guys, the 10th of August. And that's it. And just to finalize the podcast, buddy, I'm going to do like a little tradition. I started with the great Mindaugas Duskas, and I'm just going to do like a little lift for you in your honor.
Okay.
So there we go. Opana.
Opana.
That's it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I know I talk too much.
No, buddy,
They
listen.
pay me to talk.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, it's my pleasure. It's the real first time that we talk to each other like this. And as I told you, I wasn't really know how to, because you got to understand where I'm coming from. Because in the end, I'm a fanboy like anybody else, and I'm just doing my stuff and trying to get each other to know and enjoy this. It wasn't that bad. We had fun. You're a nice guy. I can tell you this. It was hard to believe, but yes, you're a nice guy.
I have this face when I'm thinking that so people don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Today it's fine.
So yeah. I'm just going to stop this. Guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.